Good day, everyone. Good day, JSS3 students. You are welcome to another week civic education online class. In this week, we'll be discussing drug trafficking. Drug trafficking is the week's topic. Now, in this class, we'll be discussing definition of drug trafficking, various names of drug trafficking, and reasons for drug trafficking, consequences of drug trafficking, and lastly, ways or solutions to prevent drug trafficking. Ways of preventing drug trafficking or solutions to drug trafficking. Now, permit me to go to the definition of drug trafficking. Drug trafficking can be defined as the illegal cultivation, manufacturing, distribution, and sale of illegal drugs. I repeat, drug trafficking can be defined as the illegal cultivation, manufacturing, distribution, and sale of illegal drugs. Examples of illegal drugs are cocaine, heroin, methamphetamines, marijuana, crack, ecstasy, ketamine, tranquilizers, cannabis, etc. Now, let's go to the next phase, which is reasons for drug trafficking. We all know there are various reasons for drug trafficking, and let's check it out. Number one, greed. Greed is a number one factor behind drug trafficking. Most people that engage in drug trafficking, or rather, drug traffickers, become drug traffickers based on greed. And shall I say that greed causes them to engage in drug trafficking? Now, they tend to see the money more than humanity. They don't care who it's hurt. What they care is the money they acquire from it. They want to acquire more money, and that makes them to engage in drug trafficking. Number two, poor upbringing. Poor upbringing. Poor upbringing is not poverty. Please understand that first before I explain. Poor upbringing is not poverty. Poor upbringing is bad parenting or bad parent guidance. When an individual, as a child, is exposed to poor upbringing, not well properly brought up, now this child will definitely in the future engage in crimes because the moral teachings he or she will be lacking them, and this makes him or her to engage in illegal activities. And one of the crimes in our society is drug trafficking. Number three, poverty. Poverty can push an individual to engage in drug trafficking. Poverty, because he or she needs money. He or she needs to provide for his daily bread. And if he sees such opportunity, such person can be pushed to engaging in drug trafficking. Number four, bad company or bad peer pressure. Bad peer pressure means bad friends influence. The bad influence from friends or the influence you get from bad friends can lure someone into committing crime. And as we all know, one of those crimes can be drug trafficking. Number 5, unemployment. Unemployment rates in the world is becoming unbearing, and this lured the youths into engaging in other crimes. When there is no legal job, they stick to illegal jobs. Now, one of those illegal jobs, crimes, is drug trafficking. Number 6, ignorance. Some individuals engage in drug trafficking without knowing the consequence behind drug trafficking. Number 7, indiscipline. Now, an indisciplined fellow is a person who doesn't know how to control his or her behavior. And an indisciplined fellow is a person that is not contented. Now, such a person is very easy to engage with drug traffickers. Number 8, deceit. Some people are deceived to engage in drug trafficking, and after doing it, they tend to commit themselves into it. Drug traffickers sometimes are being deceived to come in at first, and later on, after seeing the money in it, they continue. Number 9, high demand of drugs. The high demand of drugs in the society makes human traffickers to strive. Now, they make the high demand of drugs makes the traffickers to be promoted. Drug trafficking, sorry, correction. Drug trafficking are promoted because of the high demand of drugs in the society. Unemployed youths, indisciplined youths, youths that has poor upbringing, all these will definitely take into drugs. And these youths demands for drugs. And the high demand of drugs promotes drug trafficking in the society. Now, the reason is corruption. A corrupt society will definitely promote human trafficking because a corrupt society consists of corrupt security, corrupt judges, corrupt government personalities, and all these people are backbones to drug trafficking or drug traffickers. Now let's go to the next phase. And the next phase is consequences of drug trafficking. As we all know, penalties for drug trafficking may vary, but in most places, penalties are intended to be severe enough to discourage individuals from engaging in illegal drug trade. Now, let's mention some of the consequences of drug trafficking. Number 1, it is a criminal and punishable under law. It is criminal and punishable under law. Number 2, a country that is known for drug trafficking or where drug trafficking is rampant, we have a bad reputation, a bad name, and other countries will try to stay away from such country. Number 3, it attracts death penalty in some other countries, especially the Asian countries. Number 4, it will also lead to high rates of corruption in the society. Yes, drug trafficking will lead to high rates of corruption in society. Number 5, drug traffickers are arrested and regarded as criminals. So please don't engage in any of the drug trafficking. The last phase of this class is ways of preventing drug trafficking. We need to prevent drug trafficking in our society for our youth to be reasonable, responsible, and effective. Now, When we eradicate drugs in our society, our youth will strive more. Our society will grow. There will be high rate of development. So let's look at the solutions to drug trafficking. So the solutions or ways of preventing drug trafficking. Number one, there must be creation of job and employment of the youths. This will reduce high rate of usage of drugs and recruitment of drug traffickers. Number two, there must be adequate enlightenment of citizens about the consequences of drug trafficking and the intake of drugs. Number three, there must be appropriate sanctions, that is punishment, for drug traffickers. Drug traffickers must be punished appropriately in order to deter, to scare others from engaging in such illegal acts. Number four, authorities such as the police, immigration department, and National Drug Law Enforcement Agency must be well equipped to tackle and fight against drug trafficking in our country. Number five solution, the fifth solution. Poverty eradication measures must be properly implemented. When poverty is eradicated or reduced in a society, there is high tendency of reduction of recruitment of drug traffickers because drug traffickers recruit those that are very vulnerable, like people that are experiencing poverty, unemployed youth, etc. Thank you for listening. Have a blessed day.